and get ready for Ringside Politics with a Punch. Here's your host from ABC 26, the Conifer, the Kenner Star, KTV, City Business, and WLAE. It's WGSO's own Jeff Cruere.
All right, welcome back. I want to thank Steve Sabaldowski of BayouBuzz.com for joining us a little bit later on. Folks, we're going to also be joined by another interesting guest, author James Edwards. Right now, though, very pleased to have one of my favorite guests. He's a renowned trends researcher, and you can get more information at trendsresearch.com. Been forecasting worldwide since 1980. Very pleased to bring on Mr. Gerald Celente right here on the Ringside program. And good morning, Mr. Celente. How are you?
Great, Jeff. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well. Doing okay, considering what we got going on in the Gulf and
what a tragedy.
The incompetence that we're seeing as far as dealing with it. Today, Joe Biden comes down here, and I think that guy's a joke. But we'll see what happens. Certainly,
they're all jokes. Which one of them is? Why? It always amazes me why people all of a sudden expect the government to do something intelligently. Dogs don't make cats. I mean, everything they touch, they turn to rot. Whether it's Katrina quality rescue skills, whether it's health care, whether it's education. I got an idea. Let's fight a war on drugs. It'll go on forever, and every now and then we'll make a little bust and make a big deal out of it, and it'll cost a couple of $100 billion. But I got it. We'll put a drug czar in there. Oh, I got a better one. Why don't we wage a couple of wars and put them on twice the amount of time of World War II and keep losing them, but always say that we have a plan to win? Why are people expecting the government to all of a sudden become intelligent? They're a bunch of politicians which are suck-ups and losers. These are the guys in high school and college and girls that wanted to be class president and head of the student council. You couldn't stand them then, and now you're listening to them. I don't know what's wrong with people. They're suck-ups, they're brown-nosers, they're glad-handers, they're incompetents, they're self-serving, they're Joe Biden.
Yeah. Besides that, they're great, though.
Oh, they're great.
Yeah.
Hey, they'll shake your hand and they'll smile. They'll pat you on the back.
Yeah.
And then they'll get back in their limousine. Watch, Biden will arrive in an airplane big enough to move half of New Orleans. They'll roll out the red carpet. Security will be everywhere. They'll put the motorcades. It'll cost more to bring Biden in there than a day's worth of cleanup.
What is disturbing is that he's going to be going to Pensacola after visiting here, and they're spending resources and putting people on the beach in Pensacola trying to clean up the area where Biden's going to be for his photo op.
I know, it's disgusting. And this is what I'm saying.
And that's what happened when Obama came down here. All these hundreds of workers came in, cleaned the beach out where Obama was going to be for his photo op. When Obama left, the workers left. So, I mean, it's just more of the same. And
they do it economically. Everything they touch, they loses. When are people going to get hip to this? How can they continue to look up to these little people?
What we would like is that they would just get out of our way so that we could deal with this on our own. I mean, they're just creating worse problems for us. This moratorium, these roadblocks as far as building our sand berms. I mean, they're making it much, much worse. And that's what I object to. Just get out of our way and let us deal with it is what I'd like.
Well, that's not the federal government. They get in everybody's way on a personal level all the way up.
And, of course, one of the things we've been talking about this morning is this Internet kill switch bill that passed a Senate committee. And speaking about getting into people's business, I mean, that could be pretty disturbing. So what do you foresee? And I know you're the number one trends forecaster in the world. Now that we're about midway through 2010, I know in the beginning of 2010 you made some predictions for the year. How are those coming out?
Well, they're coming out. We're calling for the crash of 2010 economically, and it's going to happen. You look at the Dow today; it's under 10,000. You know what we're talking about? We're talking about a 1999 level.
Mm.
And all of these guys and women, these hawkers, the three-piece suits on CNBC and Bloomberg and the rest of them, you have to stay in it for the long haul, they tell you. Yeah, remember when the Nasdaq crashed in 2000, the dot-com bubble burst? You had the Nasdaq at what, 5,000? It's worth half of that now. So the crash is underway. Matter of fact, yesterday we heard from one of the white shoe boys. When he speaks, everyone listens. From the New York Times, the toilet paper of record, Paul Krugman comes out. He fears a third depression. Oh, yeah, this guy's been wrong on every call. Now we're concerned because we've been calling for the greatest depression that we may be wrong because he's calling for it now. You know, and so, of course, the greatest depression's underway. The working people know the story. The only thing they've done is they temporarily stalled it with all of this stimulus money that went to the too big to fails and their friends. So it temporarily pumped up the economy. And, Jeff, you see it all the time. They revised the numbers down. First it was the economy expanded, at a lousy 3.2%. Well, it wasn't really 3.2%. Maybe it was 3%. Well, it wasn't 3%. Maybe it was 2.7%. So it's going to get worse by the time the clock strikes 2011. Even the New York Times will know we're in the greatest depression.
Gerald Celente with us, Jeff Crouere here. It's Ringside on WGSO. The talk line 556-9696, brought to you by the new book Nullifying Tyranny by the Kennedy twins. Also, of course, you talked about terrorism in 2010, and we've certainly seen some disturbing incidents, such as this Fort Hood gunman and plenty of other events. And we got changes in Afghanistan. Any thoughts on the new leadership there?
Well, again, we're looking, we call that trend, it was before the Times Square bomber. And you read this guy, what he says. He said that, his family and friends were killed by